Hi everyone, welcome back and thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. It's Sandra here and I'm back with another Sunday family betrayal video. This is where I attempt to do a makeup look while talking about a real life family betrayal. So last week we talked about Sarah and Amina Said and how they were viciously deleted by their own father in this very ridiculous act of honor killing. Okay, I don't understand it. I'm not going to try to understand it. If you have not watched that video, I'm going to link it in the description box, or you can go into my playlist and it's going to be there with several other videos that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. For today's video, imagine that you gave birth, okay, and for some reason your child was switched at birth. A couple years down the road, you discover that your child was switched at birth and you actually get to meet your real child, okay? What would you do? Would you switch these children, the two kids, will you switch them back over and take your real child? Or would you keep the child that you've been loving for the past couple of years because you just can't imagine not loving this beautiful soul and now you have to start loving another child all over again? Well, this is our story for today. We're going to talk about two mothers who had to make this very hard decision after their kids were switched at birth. And the decision that they made when they discovered that the kids were switched, it affected them for the rest of their lives. We're going to get into that story. So let me introduce you to the star of the day, you guys. I'm going to be using the Play It Joe palette from ColourPop. This is what it looks like. I just fell in love with the packaging, okay? The inside palette, it's not, I love it, but it's not wow for me. I mean, I got it because I really do love the packaging. And of course, I don't have anything in mind, so we are going to play with the palette together, okay? Let's get into the look and talk about today's family betrayal. So I decided to prep my eyes off camera because I was gonna wear it. Do I look ghostly yet? Do I look ghostly yet? Okay, so today's story takes us all the way to South Africa. This is our second story from South Africa. I guess I love South Africa a lot. That's one of the African countries that I really want to visit. That's in my bucket list of African countries. So I want to visit South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say about Nigeria, but yeah, it's among the countries that the African countries that I really want to visit. So our story today takes us to South Africa, you guys, and this happens in 1999. So in February of 1999, two women's paths cross in the most unforeseen kind of way, okay? These two women, pregnant single moms, they meet at the hospital they meet at Nigel Hospital in South Africa to have their babies. Both of them give birth to bouncing baby boys just 20 minutes apart from each other. What happened next is something that would change these women's life for the rest of their lives, okay? The nurse or the midwife on duty somehow switched the babies. Like, she had written the tags on the babies because, like I said, they were born like 20 minutes apart from each other. So she had written the name tags and somehow she misplaced them. She took baby A and put on baby B on baby A. The ladies didn't know what was happening, okay? The two mothers were called Sandy Dawkins and Megs Clinton Parker. So Sandy Dawkins and Meg Clinton Parker, they didn't know what was going on. They just happy to see their baby boys. They stay in the hospital for as long as they're supposed to stay. And on the day of discharge, they carry their babies and they go home. Meg's baby is called Gavin, and Sandy's baby is called Robin. Okay. And I don't know how they happen to name the babies like Gavin and Robin. Those are like kind of twin names, right? That's just a coincidence because the women, like I said, they didn't know each other. I'm not even sure that they spoke to each other at the hospital. They were probably at two different wards. They didn't know anything that was happening. So it's just a coincidence, I guess, that the kids were named Robin and Gavin. So the two women go home, and from this point, I would like to call them poor mom and rich mom, because I believe that status, their social status had a lot to do with the decisions that were made, or some of the decisions that were made in this story. And it's going to be much easier for us to refer to them as poor mom and rich mom, because going forward, you're going to understand why I call them that. So Sandy was the poor mom, okay? Like I said, both of them were single mothers. So Sandy lived in a poor area. She lived in the outskirts of town. She was barely making ends meet. I mean, like, she was not middle class, not like poor. She could barely even feed. Like, she had to really struggle for everything. And she is the one that had Robin. Okay, I'm sorry, my notes are over there, so I'm going to be looking so I don't mess up their names. So Sandy's son was called Robin. And remember, like I told you, you got to stay with me here. This is a little confusing, so you guys have to stay with me. Robin is the supposed rich kid of Meg, who is now being raised by Sandy, but we don't know that yet. Okay, let me don't go too far. Okay, Sandy's son is Robin, and we're gonna say Sandy is poor mom. Rich mom is called Megs, and her son is Gavin. So Megs, she lives in this affluent area like the GRAs, and she's got all the money. She's giving her son like expensive birthday parties, and he's doing golf and all of that. So she's really well to do. She's rich, okay? Now, 2 years down the road, okay, they've taken these kids home. Everybody's happy. They're loving their sons, only children, okay? My only child. They're loving their kids. And then 2 years down the road, Meg gets into a custody battle with her boyfriend at the time, or her baby daddy at the time. And the guy requests that they do a DNA test for Gavin. So when they go to do a DNA test, it turns out that Gavin is not her child. It's been 2 years. So you have this boy that you've been loving for 2 years, okay? Only child, and she's probably been giving him the bestest, okay? You see his birthday parties, his everything. She loves this guy to death. And then she comes and finds out that it's not her child. So Megs, of course, is devastated. Like, who wouldn't be? Okay? You find out that this little boy that you've been loving for 2 years is not your child. Like, she was so devastated. But she needs to find out what went wrong, like what's going on. They decide to go to the hospital to find out from the hospital what happened to her child. So they go to the hospital, and it's not that hard to figure out what happened, because remember I told you that on that day it's just those two women that gave birth at that hospital on that day. So they were able to trace Sandy and break the devastating news to Sandy too. Like, imagine you sitting in your house and then they're coming to tell you that kind of thing. Like, how? So they break the news to Sandy, and now the two women have to deal with it. Okay? They never mentioned what happened to the nurse, or I don't know if the nurse was still working there, or I don't know. I don't know. Nobody talks about the nurse or the midwife that had the whole thing mixed up. But anyways, both ladies, they have now to make this difficult decision. Okay, are we going to keep our babies, as in our boys that we've been raising for 2 years, or are we going to switch these babies back out and let everybody just take their original baby back home? Original as in the real birth, right? Your real child that you gave birth to. Mm, 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 mm. Both women, the decision that they make surprises everybody. Okay? Both women decide to keep the babies that they've been raising. They decide that it's going to be too hard for them to give up their children. Like, this is my baby. Like, this is my son. Okay? This is the person that I've said. It's been 2 years. We've already had 2 birthdays. I don't know. I can just imagine. Okay? It's not something that I ever want to go through because I don't know how I'm going to deal with it, but I can just imagine how they were feeling at that time. But anyway, like I said, they both decided that they wanted to keep their children. But one other thing that they decided to do was to raise the kids together. Okay? They decided that they're going to raise the boys together. They will let them know the truth, how everything went down, like exactly the truth about where they're coming from and everything. But they're going to raise them as a family. Okay? Both women became very tight friends. They became like sisters, and the boys also became like brothers, like twins. Okay? And they're kind of like twins, like I said. I mean, it's a coincidence that their names are Gavin and Robin, which are kind of like matching names, but they were born on the same exact day, 20 minutes apart. So they're kind of like twins. So the mothers decide to raise them together. They visit each other. Sandy will come over to the GRA and she'll be mingling with the rich people. With the rich people. I don't know if Megs ever went down to Sandy's place, but it seems like the boys even went like on holidays. During the holidays, poor boy will come over to the rich family and he will spend the holidays there and then go back. So there are family videos, home videos of them. They really love each other. They're hanging out together. They're calling themselves brother and stuff like that. So it goes on like that for a little bit, right? And the boys, innocent at that age, okay? They're about 10, 11 years old. They're innocent. They just love each other. They just love the brotherhood. They're not seeing anything wrong with it. Now, when poor boy starts getting a little older, okay, he starts to feel some resentment towards his brother, towards the rich boy, because he's sitting there like, okay, look at me, look at my life. My mom is poor. She can't really give me the things that I really want in life. I really want to live the kind of life that rich boy is living, and he is basically living my life. You know, I should have been the one in that private school. I should have been the one with the car. I should have been the one living in that big mansion. But look at me, look at where I'm living. Look at the small house I'm living in. My mom can barely even afford anything for me. Everything that I got to struggle for it. So he starts getting those thoughts, okay? And as he's going also to rich mom's house for holidays, they're staying over there, rich mom also starts to think like, okay, why is my son living like this? Okay, because remember, poor boy is her birth son, is her biological son. So she's thinking that, okay, he doesn't deserve this life. I'm rich. I'm able to give him whatever he wants. He should be living with me. He should be living in this mansion. He should be going to private school. He should be riding in this car, be getting the things that his brother is getting. So he's complaining to the mom. They're talking about it, and the mom too is supporting him and like, I mean, you're right. You're right. You should not be living like that. You don't deserve that. I attempted to cut my crease off camera, you guys. Don't judge, okay? I know they're different. Don't come for me. My eyes are different. There's nothing I can do about it, okay? I tried my best. So after Robin struggles for a while, like just trying to deal with the fact that he's not getting what he's supposed to get, like some other person is living his life. He struggles with that for a little bit. He struggles with that for a while, and he finally decides that, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Okay? I don't deserve this type of life. I don't deserve this suffering. I don't deserve to stay with this poor woman who can barely feed me. Everything that I have to work for. So I'm going back to my original life. I'm going back to the life that is meant for me. I'm going back to my life, because it's somebody else that's living that life right now. He's there enjoying, he's going to private schools, he's doing golf and all of that luxurious life, and I can't live it I can't live the life that I was supposed to live because these women decided to make this decision on their own. Okay? So with the help of Meg, his biological mom, when Robin turns 15, he decides to move out and go live with rich mom. Yes. So Robin packs his things and is like, nope, I've had it. I need to go back to my life. So he packs his stuff and he goes and lives with his birth mother. So as you would imagine, Sandy, the poor mom, is devastated. Okay? Because not only does her son leave to go live with rich mom, but he is encouraged by rich mom. Because remember I told you that rich mom had started Meg. She has started feeling bad for her son too and thinking that, okay, she can do better, or her son can have a better life. So she encouraged him to move out. Sandy was devastated. And the most annoying thing is that, or the most heartbreaking thing is that when he left, he never came back. Like, he never turned back. He never called. And when we were interviewing him, he was like, well, I love Sandy. She's been my mom for 15 years. She's done her best. She's tried, but she didn't try hard enough, because, it is what it is. I want to go back to my mother, So he left and never looked back. Now, Robin is at the rich house, okay? He's gone to his birth mom, his biological mother, and he has a brother or a twin, not twin. He has a brother. Now they are living together. Everything is fine, right? Life is good, okay? No. All that glitters is not gold, okay? We know that. Rich people also cry. The rich also cry. We don't want to sit out here and think that, oh, we're looking at the rich people, oh, they don't have any problems, they are good. No, they also have problems. They also cry. Okay? So when he got to that house, that's when reality kicked in. He discovered that all the riches, all the mansion that he's living in, all those things, those are not the things that bring happiness. Okay? Those are not the things that bring happiness. So he started fighting with his birth mom too. So imagine this boy comes and lives with you after 15 years. He's been accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Okay? He has his own ways. He has the way that he does his things. And then he comes to you now, and all of a sudden you want him to change into the kind of person that you want him to be. It's not that easy. Okay? This boy can't just change like that. There are certain expectations that rich people people have. Okay? Now you're rich, you're no longer in the suburbs, you're no longer in the village. Now you have to behave like a rich child. There are certain things that you cannot do. There's a certain way that they expect you to walk, certain mannerisms that you have to carry and stuff like that. And for him, he felt pushed. He felt battered, like, give me some space, give me time, okay? You don't expect me to just change into a different person overnight. So he started having that rift between him and his mother, and barely 2 years after he moved in, he decided, I can't do this. Once again, he packed his stuff and left. But no, he didn't go back to his mother. He didn't go back to his, he didn't go back to poor mother. Okay, he decided he just wasn't going to deal with the drama anymore. He didn't want to have anybody around him, so he just moved out of state. He moved far away from everybody, and he just wanted to get a new life. He dropped out of school. At that time, he was like 18 years old. He dropped out of school and just moved out, and like, I just want to go do my own thing. Like, I'm done with all this drama. Yeah. So we've not talked a lot about the rich guy. Okay, rich kid Gavin, who was by faith he was put into the rich family. So this is somebody that the whole time he's like, well, it's not my fault that this happened, but I'm glad where I am. Okay, I love my life. Okay, and they even asked him if he wanted to go back to his mother. He's like, hell to the no. Like, you don't expect me to leave all of this. Like, look at this mansion. Look at my life. You don't expect me to go back to that woman, that poor woman who cannot give me anything. She can't even feed me. So he's like, nope, I'm good where I am. They ask him, do you feel sorry for Robin? Do you feel sorry for your brother Robin? He's like, not really. I don't feel sorry for him. It is what it is. So when Robin left to go live his own life, Meg obviously was very devastated, because it's like, this is the second time that she's losing a son, number one. Number two, she had been feeling already like, I won, I won, like, I have the best of both worlds. She got both sons, because obviously Gavin wasn't ready to go back to his mom, like, not even for a phone call. It's like he didn't even want to have a relationship with the other woman, like with his birth mother, because for some reason, I don't know, maybe he felt like, oh, if I start communicating with her, one day they'll just tell me that, oh, go back to your mother. So he didn't want to even take the chance. So I really felt bad for Sandy. You could tell that there was bad blood between the two women, especially since Megs is the one that really encouraged her son. She encouraged Robin to leave his mother. Although we can also say that, well, he also had a choice. He had a choice. He had encouragement from his birth mom, but he had the choice. If he really loved this woman, he wouldn't have abandoned her the way that he did. Yeah. And especially the way that he left, he left like that without a phone call. He never turned back and reached out to this woman even for 1 minute. A woman that has been your mother for 15 years, done everything for you. Yeah, she wasn't rich. She couldn't give him the kind of life that he really wanted, but it's not like she didn't try. You know, she was a struggling single mother. So while they are struggling to deal with this family issue, trying to see how they can, while Meg is trying to deal with the fact that she just lost her son for the second time, Gavin comes out of the closet. You know what that means? Like, he comes out of the closet and states that he is gay. So when asked how she felt about him coming out and saying that he's gay, she was like, I'm more worried about fixing myself and about my own problems that I have instead of being concerned about his sexuality. You know, that's not a big concern for me. So her biggest worry at that time when he said that he was gay, her biggest problem was that she wouldn't be able to have grandkids. So she mentions that he told her that, oh mom, we can always adopt. And she's like, hell to the no. She's like, I've had my share of this adoption and raising other people's children. I'm not going to do it again. Yeah. But the good news in this story is that Robin, when he leaves and goes to start a new life, the good thing is he's not a wayward boy, okay? He's responsible, he gets a job, he starts working, falls in love, and marries a beautiful girl called Liza. I love that name, Liza, and I love it from Sound of Music. Yeah, I always remember that name from Sound of Music. So he marries this beautiful girl and they have a son of their own, okay? So the journalist or the reporter that was covering the story came over and visited him and his wife and his newborn baby. And he asked Robin, he's like, so now that you have your own child, are you kind of understanding now why your mothers had to make the hard decision that they made back in the day to keep you guys? And he was like, yes, I get it. Because up to that time, he felt he didn't like the idea. He was like, why did they have to do this? They ruined his life. That decision that they made ruined his life because he would have been rich. He would have been affluent. He would have been brought up in his mother's house, which is a rich house, but he ended up being poor. And that was because of them. Why didn't they switch them back and stuff like that? So he wasn't happy with both of them. But at the time when he had his own child, he was like, you know what? I get it. Like, right now with this, my child, I love my child so much that if anybody comes and tells me that this is not my child, I'm not letting this kid go for anybody. And then he was like, but I will make the decision not to be involved in the other child's life. Okay? So, saying that if it was him in their place, he will keep his child, but he will not have a relationship with the other family. Which, I don't know. How do you guys think about this? Like, is that the best thing to do? I mean, if you don't know at all that this is a situation, that's different. Okay? If they had lived their whole lives not knowing that they were switched at birth, that would have been different. But I feel like as soon as they know, they can't keep it a secret. They can't just brush it off and be like, okay, we're going to not switch the children and we'll just keep it a secret from them and from everybody else. I don't know. Because at some point, the truth is obviously going to come out. Okay? The truth is going to come out. And when the truth comes out and those kids realize that you two knew what was going on and you hid it from us, it's not going to be funny. I told Meg Robin's response that if that happened to him right now with his child, he will keep his child and he would not have a relationship with the other family. Meg's response was, what if we had done that? What if we had hidden that truth from you? Where would you be today? Because she still feels like she saved him. Okay? She saved him because even though he lived with her only for like 2 years, but she got him out of that poverty life for a little bit, for 2 years, you know. She's like, where would he be today? He would be worse off than where he is now, because nobody knows, and he said it. Can I say that my life would have been better? I don't know. These were two different kids, two different personalities. The fact that Gavin turned out okay, he wasn't a troubled child, he's responsible and everything. He went to school, educated and everything. But the other boy didn't go. He dropped out at 18 and ran off. And even before he ran off and started staying with his birth mother, he had been fighting with his other mom. So he was a troubled teenager who turned out good at the end. But the fact that Gavin turned out the way he did, it's no guarantee that he too would have turned out like that if it was him in that house. It's no guarantee. They are two different individuals, two different people with two different personalities and characters and everything. So nobody knows how his life would have ended, you know. But at the end of the day, I feel like they did Sandy very, very wrong, you know. I mean, these two women, they decided together that they wanted to keep these boys. I feel like they should have continued that sisterhood, continued with the friendship. For Meg to go back and start encouraging her son to leave his mother and come to her because she can afford to give him the kind of life that he deserved was so wrong on her part. Okay, and I feel like she was mean. I feel like Meg was very mean, because she would say things like, I'm the winner, I'm the best of, I have the best of both worlds. Like, at the end of the day, when they asked Sandy, they asked her, like, today, what do you think? Like, today, do you still stand by the fact that, do you still stand by you guys' decision that you should have kept the kids? What do you think about it today? She's like, nope, I regret it. We should have switched those babies once we discovered the truth about them. We should have switched them. But when they asked Meg, she was like, I stand by the decision, you know. We didn't do anything wrong. We did right. I still don't think that if it was today, I'm still not going to switch the kids. We did the best thing because I won. I got the best of both worlds. I got both sons. Like, don't do that, you know. So I kind of feel like they can't tell us everything that's happening behind the scenes. They probably have other issues, underlying issues, okay? Because I don't think that it's just this case that just rifted them like that. Something happened that tore this family apart. I would say family because if you look at the whole video, they were fine, they were good, they decided to raise these kids together. So what changed? What changed? Why did she feel now that, okay, she's the one that can give both kids the kind of life and this other woman cannot because she's poor? And today, Sandy has no relationship with any of the boys. She has no relationship. And I'm not sure if she's so mad at her son that she's not wanting for him to reach out, or maybe he's the one that doesn't want to reach out, which I don't know. I don't know. I'm having a hard time understanding why he would just decide to cut off all ties with his mother like that. You know, this person that has been in your life for 15 good years. I don't know. So in the end, Robin decided to go back home. Robin, like the prodigal son that he was, he decided to go home. No, he didn't go to his mother. He went to his birth mother. Okay, I told you this guy was determined not to communicate with Sandy. He was determined not to. From the day he left the house, he never looked back. Okay, so he went back to his birth mother and his brother Gavin and introduced them to his wife and his son, and they live happily ever after. So Megs, okay, in the end, Megs was like, oh, the biggest thing of all is family. You know, family is more important, and we shouldn't have let this thing go as far as it did. You know, for me, I feel like she's not sincere, you know, because if she was sincere, I feel like she would have tried to bring Sandy back, because I don't see how this family can be complete without Sandy. They started this. They decided to do this together. And I can understand if, again, I've said this several times, there's probably bad blood. If Sandy is so mad that she's the one, she doesn't want to talk to them, she doesn't want to forgive, she doesn't want anything to do with them, and she's driving them away. It doesn't say that in the documentary at all. I don't know if that's the situation, but if that is the situation, I wouldn't blame her, you know. I wouldn't blame her, because now she's left all alone, you know. And that's where I feel like there's the family betrayal in all of this. You know, I feel like 3 of them betrayed her. They shouldn't have left her by herself like that, unless there's some underlying situations, there's some other thing that's making them drift away. And can I blame her son for not wanting to have a relationship with her? I don't think so. I don't think I can blame him. You know, it's not his fault. It's not his fault, and I don't think it's fair to expect him to love her. Okay, he doesn't really feel anything for her. He loves his mom. He loves Meg to death. Okay, and at one point when Robin left, you know, when Robin left Meg and decided to go live on his own, he was so mad. You know, he was so pissed. He was like, if you hurt somebody that I love, I can hurt you back. You know, I can delete him because he hurt Meg. Because he knows the hurt that Meg felt when he left. So he loves his mother. That is his mother. And I cannot blame him for not feeling anything for the other woman. But I don't know. What do you guys think? You know, it was a very, very hard decision for them to make. And if I was in that situation, I'm going to be very honest, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Because sometimes you feel like you know what you're going to do in the situation until it gets to that point. Because imagine, you can put yourself in these women's shoes. You've been loving this child, and this is your only child you've been loving for 2 years. And then now you have to give that child up and then start another. I don't know. Maybe, okay, maybe they should have switched the kids and then still remained the bond so that they will each still be in the kids' lives if they're already so attached to the kids. And I think at 2 years old, these kids can barely even remember. The kids can barely remember. I feel like they could have gotten over it. The kids could have gotten over it. I think the parents, the moms probably made the decision based on them, how they were feeling at the time, which you can't really tell if it was a wrong or right decision. I don't know. So let me know your thoughts about today's video, you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you're going to do in that situation. Are you going to switch the babies, or are you going to keep the babies because you can't you cannot imagine getting rid of your child? I don't know. Let me know what you think. And let me also know what you think about my look for today, you guys. I am feeling this look. I'm not sure why I went for green. I don't know. I should have gone with blue, right? To go with the blue theme. But for some reason, if I have a palette that has green, my hand always goes to the green first. I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, let me know what you think about my look. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope that it's a bit relieving from all the wahala that I've been giving you lately. So thank you so much for watching. If you've been watching up to this point, I am pretty sure that you enjoyed the video. Please give this video a thumbs up and share. Remember to subscribe if you have not already. Show some love. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.